Moving right along, I see Melanie, you have come on screen. Welcome from Smartbox,
Thank you.
and the stage, as they say, is yours.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. My name is Melanie, and I am with Smartbox and Talk to Me Technologies. I am the Director of Clinical Education for Smartbox and very, very, very excited to be with you all today. At Smartbox, we are very much um, hoping to be able to help people with complex needs connect with others so they can participate in life and have some more independence. And so I'm really excited about our updates today because I really feel like these are examples of how we want people to be able to connect and participate more. And our first update is that I'm very excited to introduce Read With Me Accessible Stories. At Smartbox, we have been asked many times to, one, have more accessible books available within Grid, and two, also have a very easy way to make new books within Grid. And so that's what we have done. We have 10 books, five are familiar stories, and five are original stories. These have been designed for young AAC users aged three through 6, but can also be used with learners who are developing early language skills. You can also have older AAC users, maybe those who have ALS or who have had a stroke, use them to read to their young children or grandchildren. They are available for all types of access, so touch, eye gaze, and switch users. And they really provide accessible and interactive ways to read in a very consistent format. Text is going to be presented without any symbols because we really want to focus on word recognition. While this is not a reading program, the stories do have levels that are informed by research into common programs. So really, these are meant to inspire, not necessarily prescribe any one reading program. And across the bottom of every page, we're actually going to go into Grid and look at this. Can everyone see my grid right now? Just want a thumbs up or if someone can see that. We're going to go into Three Little Pigs. And within Three Little Pigs, you're going to notice that we have this communication partner bar along the bottom. And this is designed specifically for communication partners to provide really quick and very easy access to a table of contents so that the communication partner can move between different parts of the story. There's also a glossary of words within that story. And then there's also a quick talk button that allows the AAC user to be able to ask for a break or ask for help or talk about how they're feeling about the particular activity. Within each one of these stories, there's also resources that help work on various skills. And these resources are broken down into 4 different categories. We have the Story Explorer, which has activities that were designed to help the learner really connect to the story, talk about key events, or talk about some of the characters that are in the story. We have the Story Builder, which has activities focused on understanding the order of events, so they can develop sequencing and narrative skills. There is the Story Thinker area, which has activities to reflect, to compare and comment, and to promote personal opinions. And then the last one is the Story Detective, which allows activities that stretch comprehension and work on early decoding. There's also a More Resources page that has a whiteboard and a keyboard with a phonics-friendly keyboard available. In addition to all of these 10 stories, we also have a template. So again, people want to be able to make their own stories. And so we have that. We have this template. So parents, caregivers, SLPs, anyone supporting that AAC user can add, new stories for the user. And the template includes all of the resources pages, the communication, so you can add table of contents and a glossary for each and every story. And while all of the stories are currently only available in English, they can be translated using this template. So if you wanted to make something in another language, this would be one way to do that. In addition to the stories themselves, there's also an educator and family guide. This is going to have a lot of information so that the people supporting the AAC users know how the stories were developed, how to use them, how to use all of the different resources that are available. So there's a QR code here if you want to check into that and read a little bit more about it. I also have Maria on with me from Smartbox as well, and she's also able to put in a link with more information as well. These Read With Me stories are part of our Grid for Schools grid set. And so they are available in Grid and Grid for iPad. They are free to download. So anyone can add them to their existing grid sets. There is no additional cost for any of these. So it's a really great new resource as we're moving into the school year for everyone to use. The next two things that we're going to talk about are two new AI tools in Grid. And when we were thinking about integrating AI into Grid, we always wanted to make sure that we empower individuals to communicate in ways that really feel uniquely their own. So we really believe that AI should empower and not replace human expression, right? And so we have these 6 AI principles that really guided how we developed and used AI features in our products. One is that AI should assist and not replace human communication. People should always come first. Privacy is fundamental. There should be transparency and control, ongoing responsibility, and that human oversight matters. We want to integrate new AI features to make conversations move faster and be more seamless, but we still want users to be able to communicate in a way that truly reflects themselves. We're going to innovate, but we're going to do it responsibly and mindfully. And the human will always have that final edit. And so when we were thinking about how can we introduce AI, we were doing some research in partnership with the ALS Association, and it really highlighted a major challenge for people who used text communication, and that they spend a lot of time correcting typing errors. It could take as much as like a third of the time spent composing their message just fixing errors. And so our first AI tool that we are integrating is called our Fix tool. This is designed to support what the AAC user is already communicating and speed up that process so they spend less time fixing errors. So it can fix spelling and grammar errors. It can fix punctuation, all kinds of different things. So let's go in and look at this just briefly. Going to go into our text talker. These come automatically within Fast Talker and Text Talker. So if I started typing a message,
G2 HTE.
So I have a lot of errors in there. I could go through and try and fix all of them, but I can also go ahead and just hit this Fix tool. And then as long as I'm online, it is going to fix my errors in there. And again, because of those AI principles that we are really thinking about, we always want to give the AAC user control. So if I don't like what comes up, I can always undo that. So I can go back and try again, or I can go and fix a few things if it's not exactly what I wanted to say. We also have in here the ability to turn on the online AI tools off or on. So again, the AAC user will always have control of that. So couple things to note about it. Again, the AAC user is always in control. There's no need to sign in. It's free, again, to use. Data from this is not going to be used to train any future AI models, and messages are sent anonymously. Data is retained for a really short period of time, but Smartbox really has no access to that data. You do need to make sure to have grid version 97 or above to be able to use that. And the last thing that we're going to talk about today is ElevenLabs. This is the ability for users to now have a high quality AI 11Labs voices in Grid. So it helps them to express themselves in a way that is really natural and personal. And this update expands the range of voice options available. So it really offers more personalization for AAC users. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play you a sample of my voice that I made using ElevenLabs. So here's a sample of my voice.
Hello, this is a sample of my ElevenLabs voice that I'm using in Grid software.
So as you can hear, it is very similar to my current voice, eerily so sometimes when I've heard it. And what's really great about it is that users can create and integrate their own voice. Online voices like ElevenLabs are not restricted by the device, and so they can use more processing power to have a lot more expressive voices, right? But what that means is AAC users need to be online to use it, and not all AAC users are going to be online all the time. And so therefore, their devices will need to be able to have both an on-device voice and an online text-to-speech voice and be able to handle both. It doesn't take very long to do. I think I made my voice, I put in some data and it made it very, very quickly. Why this is so important. Voices really shape who we are and how we interact with others. I was at a conference a while back where we were discussing, talking about, do AAC users really feel like their devices represent themselves? And many of them said, no, because of the voice. Doesn't really represent who they are or who they think they are. And so having a personalized voice helps us really maintain that sense of self and foster more connections with each other. And so having a really natural sounding voice can really bridge that gap and be really important for AAC users. 11Lab voices are available for free for all Grid users over the age of 18. There is a QR code here to be able to get more information, to get steps about how to get a voice. And again, it is free for anyone over the age of 18. There's quite a few voices in different languages available, so definitely worthwhile to check and see if the voice and the languages that you need are available. Instant voices require, like I said, it's very quick. You can use up just a minimum of 10 seconds audio. If you want a little bit more of a professional voice, it does require a minimum of 30 minutes audio. But you can use voice files, videos, voicemails, just about anything to input that information and then be able to make a voice. So really excited to be able to share these with you. And if we have just a minute, it looks like I can answer any questions.
Thank you, Melanie. And I know folks have been putting some stuff in the chat, and we may, so if you want to follow up there
Will do.
on Q&A. So thank you for sharing.